I had a business meeting with somebody. I told this guy that this is my problem. My problem is I wanted to improve my YouTube channel and something. And this guy told me, then how can I help you? I just told you what my problem is. You should, but because he had written some questions down, I felt he wasn't listening to me. I felt he was reading a script. Today's a beautiful Monday. I came to work early and I just feel like ranting about some things which I don't know. So, what I've decided to do is to check on my jotter. So when I read books, I put some important quote here. And what I do with that is I just write it down and I read them out when I am less busy, just like now. So the goal today is just to go through those words or those quotes and put them down. The title is Food for Thought. So the first one is no man will listen to you talk without knowing it was his turn next. I can't remember the book. I sincerely can't remember the book I was reading when I wrote this down. But it's kind of solid. No man will listen to you talk without knowing it was his turn next. Which means if you are known to be somebody that speaks, and you're not a good listener, which means they know you will always talk over them, you will always not give them time to respond, then why bother listen to you? If they know that all you want to do is to be a radio and speak without listening to them, then they will not speak. They will not give you that respect you deserve. And this is a lesson that I have had over the course of a few years, and I have learned to be very attentive to people when they speak to me. I try to listen, and when I am listening, I don't think of a reply. I let them finish, then I tell them to give me time to think of whatever. But the point is, I listen without thinking of the next word to say no. So this has also helped my communication. The fact that when people speak to me, my questions often come from their, especially I love to interview my students. So when I interview people, my question often comes from their, how do I put this? Their statements. So when they say, for example, I like chicken. Why do you like chicken? And something like that. Just a crazy example, nothing crazy, but you understand what I'm talking about. So you don't have some questions lined up in your head and you keep, and it doesn't just follow up. I had a business meeting with somebody. I told this guy that this is my problem. My problem is I wanted to improve my YouTube channel and something. And this guy told me, then how can I help you? I just told you what my problem is. You should, but because he had written some questions down, I felt he wasn't listening to me. I felt he was reading a script. I told him, I'm not sure my channel has a big, huge problem. My channel is not up to 4 months, and I already have a substantial amount of subscribers. I have something. And at the end of the day, he kept on talking about, okay, are you satisfied with where you are? I just told you I am not totally satisfied, but I think it's okay, and I am patient enough to grow slowly and steadily. But he wasn't listening to that. He just wanted to ask the next question, which was, are you satisfied? How can I help you with it? So I think this guy went to maybe a business school, and that's probably what they gave to him. I just had to tell him to leave my channel and go away because I wasn't connecting with him. He wasn't connecting with me either. So I think that's one thing, that's one lesson I learned from this. Just try to listen to people, respond to people. Yeah. Should I stop here or continue? That's one. That's just one. Uh, ooh. One here is I can remember this. You're going to be wrong. Set up a system to protect you when wrong. I can't remember the context of this. What's the context? You're going to be wrong. Set up a system, which means, yeah, you're not always going to be right. But when you're wrong, you should have something like a cushion that protects you even when you're wrong. The way I see this is what I think I wrote this maybe 2 or 3 years ago. One thing here is probably it's about making bad decisions, but you've put some things in place, maybe your investments, maybe your savings, or even people around you, relationship, that even when you make mistakes, these things around you help you recover or help you recover from that simple mistake instead of it totaling you, killing you. That's what I deciphered from there. I hope I remember. Uh, okay, so there's another one. And please, if you know where these quotes are, I love to read books, but I forgotten. I think next time I should just write this down. I don't have a problem with if I don't have a problem if you aim high and miss, but there's going to be a problem if you aim low and hit. I don't have a problem if you aim high and miss, but there's going to be a problem if you aim low and miss. So, which means you should always aim high and just go look up. Always look up. Don't aim low. This is scary. Why did I write these things down? I don't know. Okay, I have one here. This one is sweet. Your ego is the anesthesia that dents the pain of stupidity. Ego is the anesthesia that dents the pain of stupidity. So instead of you being humble or coming out straight that I don't know this or I'm stupid, you have this ego. So most egoistic people are covering up for something, not just stupidity, maybe it's their self esteem, maybe something, but it's a cover for something. So it dents that pain that you're stupid. Oh, God. Another one, it's a dangerous thing to mistake speaking without thought for speaking the truth. It's a dangerous thing to mistake speaking without thought for speaking the truth. You know, I was once this person, and the day I read it, I remember this book. When I read this book, I was like, wait, everything to me back then was always, I am speaking the truth. Why should you nail me? But there are times that the way you say things matter. Yeah, because you know you're saying that speaking the truth doesn't mean you should probably speak it at that time or that way. You should understand the way the other person feels. Now, some people will be like, why do I have to care about how the other person feels? That's a question for another day. But you should care what, yeah, you should be able to care what people feel. Number one, you should also know when to speak and when not to speak. Your ability to know when and when not to do something here, which I must say, wisdom must come with experience in a way. Yeah. So, yeah, don't just speak because it's the truth. Sometimes you have to be diplomatic. Yeah, you have to understand where the person is coming from. And I believe the word truth might be your perspective in a way. Sitting here, I might say figure six, while you say figure nine. We all we're both speaking the truth, but our perspectives are different. So these are just my interpretation. I have forgotten the context, but these are my interpretations of what I've written. Number six said, a dog with two owners dies of starvation, which means I think this should be something about focus. Yeah, it should be something about focus. Yeah, should be something about focus and trying to focus on a task or doing some things and not just hop from one place to another. I haven't really used this, yeah, but it just struck me in a way, and I decided to write it down. Yeah, I remember this. This one is recent, and it says the worst you can do is to do a job without a sense of purpose or conviction. And I think this is a quote by the new owner of Sunderland Football Club. This young owner, was it Sunderland? Yeah, I think it's Sunderland. He said it. This is what his father told him that I watched this maybe earlier this year, and he said something about the father telling him that why do a job because maybe it's an expectation by your society, environment, and the other things, and just do something that you have a sense of purpose and conviction for. Oh, you might not even make money from that, or you might not. But the point is that know when to do your job and know when to face your business. If you're doing something, let there be a sense of conviction that this is what I am meant to do. This one is tricky. I am not going to say the word, but it's the bad word, FU, right? And they said, I am sorry you feel that way, an official way to say, yeah, I'm sorry you feel that way. Why did I write this down? So instead of you saying, blah, 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 you just say, I'm sorry you feel that way. I wrote it down for a reason, and I think I should name this film title "Words from My Diary." Uh, and the last one is never assume people's maturity. Sometimes it's not what you said; it is who you said it to. The same yam that nurtures an adult can kill a child. Exactly. I think this is kind of close to where's the one about speaking the truth. Yeah. You shouldn't assume people's maturity. You shouldn't assume people's intelligence. Never assume people's emotional intelligence also, because what you say to Mr. A might be detrimental to Mr. B's mental health. So never assume people's maturity and find a way to always water down. I don't want to say the word water down, but this is the way. Okay, I heard another one that, okay, let's say you have this wisdom. You have this wisdom, and you are like, your wisdom is like electricity. Okay? Now, the electricity that is supplied, the watt or megawatt supplied from, let me say, the generation house or the powerhouse, doesn't go directly to people's or consumers' household. No, we have transformers. Transformers step them down. They step this thing down before distributing. You are that transformer. So your job as a person is to understand the requirement of other people's maturity or intelligence or the way they understand stuff and try to make them understand it. Another thing is that, for example, everything I'm saying right now, I have better ways to say it. But I understand that a majority of my audience are language learners. So I have to keep it as low or keep it down and not use word like elucidate, juxtapose, circumspect, uh, words like that. No, because I want everybody to understand what I'm talking about. I am the transformer. Never assume people's maturity. And this is where I stop here. So that's it. See you later. Like and subscribe, please. Like and subscribe and watch these videos. I love you. Goodbye.